Now, when it comes to the shutdown itself, Basil, a new poll from Monmouth shows more Americans would blame Republicans in Congress than anybody else. And you notice I phrased that quite specifically. More than anybody else, but not the most.
Right.
In fact, if you add up people who blame President Biden and Democrats together, that is the majority.
Partly because it's a chaotic time, and in a chaotic time, it's difficult to draw lines of causality. So they just blame everybody, and there's a sort of a reason to. The UAW is on strike. Student loans are coming due. There's a tremendous amount of economic anxiety out there. And by the way, we might have a government shutdown where, in New York itself, 330,000 children, infants, may lose SNAP benefits and lose access to programs like Head Start. Tremendous amount of anxiety, and somebody has to be the sort of focus of the blame. But what I would say is that Republicans are doing a really good job at blaming themselves.
I mean, you heard Lawler, right? He says Matt Gaetz is to blame. The American people, though, are out blaming a lot, the whole other host of characters.
And I think what Democrats can do is sort of lean on that. Michael Lawler also said that the Republicans are stuck and stupid. The American Enterprise Institute center-right said this is a shutdown about nothing, a Seinfeld shutdown. So Democrats can actually use words against Republicans to kind of lay out that blame.
And yet, Gloria, when I say whistling past the graveyard, if you look at the big picture here, anybody who says they care about spending, amazing that unholy alliance I referred to, right? That you could have Democrats bailing out McCarthy, and they would do so at great cost.
On the other hand, don't ever get in the way of a boulder as you see it running down a hill. So,
maybe let it run its way.
Just let it run its way.
So, Congressman, I want to ask you about another development. Pretty equally, except, Basil, the latest polling, at one point he was polling 19% among Democrats. So it's not, that has not held. 9%. But that's in the Democratic primary among likely Democratic voters. So if that's true, and you peel away any fraction of that 9%, that would give it to Trump.
Yeah, well, look, I think any third-party candidate, no matter who it is a problem for both candidates. I do think in this very specific issue, this specific case, it does actually hurt Trump more than it hurts Joe Biden. There are other third-party candidates out there, I won't say, that actually are probably able to do more damage to Democrats. But the conspiracy theorist part is actually
Mr.
really
West,
important. Brother West, yes. But the conspiracy theory part is actually pretty important here because it does tie into so much of what we're seeing in other parts of the country that Democrats and I think a lot of suburban disaffected Republicans and independents want nothing to do with and want to stay as far away from it as possible.
All right, what do you think, Gloria, about him doing this now?